Should you be considering an IC-705 for an HF radio? Maybe yes, maybe no. Find out today.
Shut up and sit down.
Thank you for tuning in to this channel. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB, and this video series is built around reviews, news, and how-tos of many things that are new in amateur radio. So if that's something that you should find interest in, I ask you to subscribe below and hit the thumbs up button. It does help with the YouTube algorithm out there. So, what should you be thinking about with the new IC-705? Now, you see the title of the video, you see the thumbnail, okay, and you see me wearing my Icom shirt. Where is it? It's right there. There it is. Wherever it is. And you're thinking, okay, Jason, this was probably clickbait. No, this was not clickbait. I've done clickbait before. I did a video a while back about that said the HF bands are dead. And then I spent 20 minutes going through the band on my Flex radio with the Maestro screen and waterfall that proved, in fact, the HF bands were not dead. So, no, this is not that was clickbait. This is not clickbait, okay? I am going to tell you today why you should not be considering an IC-705, okay? Now, the reason I am recording this episode is because I have received numerous comments on past videos, numerous emails, messages on Facebook, messages on a couple messages on Instagram, I think, with this question, okay? With this exact question. One of the comments that I received, this was actually a message on Facebook, and I'm not going to share who sent it because it's not what the video is about, but so it says, Jason, I need your help. I think Gigaparts is trying to steer me wrong. I've already placed my order with HRO for an IC-705. I will get a delivery as soon as they are released. Gigaparts is telling me I should get a Yaesu FT991 or an Icom IC-7300 for a home base station and leave the 705 in my vehicle. He says, I was trying to buy one unit that would work for both, and that's how HRO sold me. Thoughts? ? I don't know if they're just trying to make a sale or if they really believe that the 7300 is better off base station at home. So what I replied to him with was basically, dude, what are you trying to use this for? Quite frankly, I don't think a 705 is a good radio for the shack at base station home or in your vehicle. I don't think that's what it is. Okay, here's the bottom line, okay? Do you know what this is, QRP? If you don't know what QRP is, you don't need to be buying an IC-705, okay? If you are buying your first HF radio, in my opinion, you don't need to buy an IC-705. I think a Yaesu FT891 or an FT991 or an IC-7300, if you're big on Icom, which I am, I prefer Icom radios most days. Either Flex radio or Icom radio, depending on what you're doing. But if you're buying your first HF base station radio, you do not want an IC-705. If you're buying a mobile radio, I don't think you really want an IC-705 there either. An IC-705 is a QRP radio. It does 10 watts. An IC-7300 is what's called a full power radio that does 100 watts. You don't want a QRP or a 10-watt radio for your main base station radio. Sure, you could buy an IC-705 and then buy an amplifier and put it on the back of it. But you're talking about an even greater expense because the IC-705, when it finally does release, is going to be $1,299, which is, at the time of this recording, about $200 to $300 more than an IC-7300. Now, you might say, well, I want the additional benefit of VHF, UHF, and D-Star. Okay. Do you want VHF and UHF QRP? Well, I'm sorry. Do you want VHF and UHF all mode? Or do you just want a dual band HT with D-Star? Okay, because $1,299 is a lot of money to pay for a dual band D-Star HT. which the 705 will be about 5 watts on VHF and UHF, roughly. We don't know the exact power yet, but I think that's what they're saying. So what are you going to use your radio for? Okay, if you don't understand what QRP and backpacking is, or it's something that you might want to try later, I suggest going with the 100-watt rig as your base station and your mobile radio. Okay, I would not suggest going with the QRP radio, any QRP radio, as your main base station or main mobile radio. Okay, you want to get as much power as you can on a base station, especially if you're going to be putting up a really great antenna that is rated at 1,000 watts or legal limit of 1,500 watts. You don't want to put a QRP station at your home. It's just going to be frustrating. Okay, so if you understand what QRP is, and if your goal is to do backpacking, summits on the air, parks on the air, something like that, then I think the 705 is a great choice. Okay, I am going to purchase a 705 when they're released. In fact, I've already got one on order. So I'm not really saying that you shouldn't purchase an IC-705 at all. What I'm saying is you shouldn't purchase an IC-705 unless you understand the difference between a QRP rig, a low-power QRP rig, and a 100-watt full-power base station. Okay, or full-power mobile radio. Okay, because you can get... I've known guys that put the IC-7300 in their vehicle. It's not really made for a vehicle. It's made for a base station shack. But you can get the Yaesu FT891, which is also a 100-watt rig for less money than an IC-705. You can also get an Icom IC-7100, which includes VHF, UHF, and D-Star. And it's a 100-power rig that is made for mobile. Okay, so the IC-705 and the IC-7100 have the same bands, HF, 6 meters, 2 meters, and 440, all mode, and D-Star. But the IC-7100 was about $500 or $600 less because it's been out longer. It's a little bit older technology. It doesn't have a color screen on it. But it does 100 watts, and in a mobile situation, you're going to be much happier with a full-power 100-watt radio. So if you understand what QRP is, if you're going for QRP, if you're going for the backpack aspect, if you're going for a battery-powered radio, then yes, by all means, order an IC-705. But in this situation here that I just showed you the screenshot of, and honestly, I've been asked that question, reworded time and time again, probably 1 to 2 dozen times in the last month, because we've been talking about the IC-705 in various videos. I've been posting about it. We brought Ray on to one of the YouTubers Hamfest pages, and he was on the QSO Today Ham Expo with us in our channel talking about the 705. A lot of the other YouTubers have done videos about the 705 and what it's going to look like, and you know what the features of it are going to be. And it's going to be a neat radio if you understand what it is and what its application is meant for. Okay, so just be sure that you understand what you're buying. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to answer them. Put your comments below. And hopefully we'll hear you on the bands, whether you're doing QRP from the top of the mountain or whether you're doing 100 watts from your ham shack. 73 guys, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and we'll see you on the airwaves.